Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are not going to be cooking. What I'm really here to show you is how quick and easy this little bread loaf grabber is to make. When I was in India recently for my son's wedding, that is a sentence I never thought I would say, but it was absolutely amazing. My sister and I were at a buffet and they had these beautiful loaves of bread with these things sitting right on top of them. It is a towel and it's just folded to have two pockets for your hands, and then you just grab the bread and cut. This keeps everyone's fingers away from the food, and it is really cute. Let's go back to the sewing room and get started. So this is super simple. Basically, you're taking a flour sack towel or a tea towel or just any kind of a towel that you like, or you can use fabric. We're going to be folding it in thirds, sewing across the top just so that this isn't three pieces. It just makes it work easier. Folding it in and then sewing down each side to create this shape where you can put your hand in here, but you have lots of space to hold the bread and do your cutting. This is just a towel that I got at IKEA. I cut off the hang tag and the label, and it is 20 by 26, just so you know what size. The size is, there's no magic number for this project. I would say it's whatever size you have, but that is the size that I am using. And I'm just gonna iron it. Okay, so now we just fold it, and you'll see because it is, kind of flimsy and thin, it didn't really iron totally straight. So you're going to want to adjust that as you go. Kind of guessing that that's going to be about a third. And you just need to make sure that the edge that is on the outside is lined up nicely with the fold, because we're going to be sewing down both of these sides to form the pockets. So if this is way off, it's not going to form the pocket very well. I'm just going to grab some clips. I'm going to clip this end and this end, and we're just going to sew straight across. This is now sewn together on both ends. And then you just need to decide which side you want to be the outside, this side or this side. Now this side has the two folds, but it doesn't have any color. I kind of like the red stripe, so I want the red stripe on the outside. So I'm going to turn this side up, and then I'm just going to fold these in towards the center. So you can take a ruler and just see if they're about the same size. So this is 12.5 inches. The 6 1/4 is in the center. So it's a little bit longer on this side. Really doesn't bother me, but we want to be exact. And then I like to leave about 1/2 inch in the center, because it makes it much easier to just grab and put your hand in there than if it was super close together like that. So now I'm just going to clip again on both sides, because we're going to be sewing here, and then it is going to be done. And then when I'm pinning this, you want to make sure all these edges are pretty lined up, so that if you sew 1/4 inch from the edge, you're going to be sewing through all of the layers to make the pockets. This side is much easier because it's just two folds. Okay, back to the sewing machine to get this finished up. Now, because this is quite a few layers and quite thick, I'm going to use what is called leader fabric. This is basically some folds of fabric that I just keep handy to kind of even up with fabric, so that my presser foot is not going to be at a total angle and it's not going to have a hard time getting started. So you put the leader fabric and then you put your fabric right up next to it. You don't want to sew into that leader fabric, but it is going to help get things moving. And then it just gets pushed off the back as you sew. And because this is already sewn together, it doesn't matter that the stitching isn't going to go over this big lump. It's actually probably better that it won't. And then I do like to go back and forth right on that edge. I also usually use my scissors, because sometimes it's hard to get it up on that spot. So I'll use my scissors to hold that down while I sew over the top. So the one side is done. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to grab those leader fabrics again, push those under first, then put my fatter fabric that I'm going to be sewing, and rock and roll. That is how fast and easy this is to sew. This would be a great hostess gift, a wonderful thing to sew and sell, put in an auction gift basket, whatever you'd like. Let me know in the comments what you think you would use these for. Would you make them for yourself? Would you make them for gifts? I'd love to know how you're going to put this quick and easy sewing project to use.